Since the time motorcycles hit the roads, there has been something about them that men can't help it. Motorcycles address numerous things to men. Above all else, there is a component of risk related with motorcycles. Men ache for speed, commotion, isolation and the open street where they can release from the remainder of the world. Just them and their machine where they can communicate their masculine, actual ability and control. Numerous big names are known for their energy for something, regardless of whether it's specialty, music, vehicles or motorcycles. With regards to their enthusiasm, big names tend to live enormous, and for a person, what's greater than an energy for motorcycles? You might connect certain VIPs with motorcycles while others you might not have speculated they had an enthusiasm for bicycles. Coming up next is a rundown of 5 famous people who own a bike or have an assortment. Norman Reedus. Norman Reedus of the Strolling Dead, gotten his adoration for motorcycles back in his 20s in LA before he handled the job of a vigilante in Boondock Holy People. In Ride, Reedus tracked down a home with the trekking local area and his enthusiasm for bicycles developed. He clarifies how today, riding is his obsession for all the reasons you would envision. For Reedus, it offers him the calm and isolation he aches for in his bustling profession. He knew at a youthful age that it was simply something he was keen on, and the more he did it, the more he adored it. Reedus portrays riding motorcycles as his yoga. He clarifies how he does his best deduction with a protective cap on, and proceeds to look at it time spent on a plane. It's simply you and your considerations, and you can complete your best reasoning while at the same time riding, concocting inventive thoughts. He adores his time spent on a bicycle and continues to return to it. One dream Reedus concedes to will be to journey Vietnam on a bicycle with a companion. He says, "I think that'd be marvelous." Norman was 19 or 20 when he was at last ready to manage the cost of his first bicycle, which was a Buell X1 Lightning, which he alluded to as Harley-esque with all the more an energetic road bicycle pizzazz. You can tell there is a profound energy for bicycles with Norman. In Ride, he cherishes flaunting the diverse bicycle societies and depicts all the kinds of bicycles and bikers being so unique. Harley riders in for its excitement while specialists and attorneys love the style, but this culture is completely associated somehow or another. Reedus' bicycle assortment incorporates a Harley, 2 Victorys, a Honda and Tiger 800. When inquired as to whether he has a fantasy bicycle he'd love to claim, his answer was, an Indian Larry bicycle. He depicts it as an excellent bicycle, and there is presumably a decent possibility that one day we'll be hearing that he has added one to his structure assortment. Brad Pitt. Brad Pitt is a commonplace big name with regards to needing to ensure his protection, which isn't in every case simple when you're going here and there around town in a vehicle. Obviously, the fervor and love of riding is consistently a main thrust behind numerous men and their motorcycles. However, for somebody like Brad Pitt, who are continually focused on for photograph operations, motorcycles give him the additional advantage of having the option to lash on a cap and take cover behind the safeguard to mix in with the other regular people out and about. He says that he cherishes that his bicycles give him secrecy. Truly, he names the paparazzi explicitly with regards to haziness. On his bicycles, he can stay under the radar and stow away from the relentless photograph pursues. Brad has a significant assortment of top-notch bicycles. He doesn't adhere to any one specific brand or type, however has a broadened collection. Some of his top choices incorporate a Ducati Desmosedici RR, a Beast 696, just as a choice of Harley-Davidson choppers. His assortment likewise incorporates 2 Victorys, exemplary English bicycles that have been confined for present-day riding, a Regal Enfield Projectile 500 and a couple going 4x4 romping bicycles, for example, the BMW R11 GS Experience and his Japanese superbike, the Yamaha R1. One of the most extraordinary in his assortment is the Ducati. With just 500 proprietors, Brad tried to be one of them. Tom Cruise. Tom Cruise needs no presentation. His is an easily recognized name that the vast majority partner with probably the greatest film names. His name is inseparable from activity-pressed spine chillers and films where his person is definitely celebrating good times. In the greater part of Tom's motion pictures, you'll see Journey dash off on a bicycle basically once. However, with regards to motorcycles, films aren't the solitary spot you'll get Tom on one. Motorcycles are a major piece of Tom's genuine as well, an energy he says he created when he was 10 years of age. He adores amazing bicycles that have the ability of arriving at high velocities, for example, the Virus 987 C3 4V, which he possesses and rides and has been named the world's most impressive street bike with its maximum velocity coming to 211 and accompanied a weighty sticker price as well, of a little more than $100,000. Tom has consistently cherished the adventure of celebrating good times, which he can get each time he jumps on one of his bicycles. A portion of the bicycles you'll discover in Tom's assortment incorporate a Confederate, a Ducati Desmo Sedici, Hinckley Winds, a Speed Triple and a T595 Daytona, which was famously included in his film, Mission Unimaginable 2. As a result of his riding abilities, Tom has no motivation to utilize a stand-in with regards to bike moves. He can absolutely stand his ground. Jay Leno. Jay Leno's affection for cars and motorcycles has gotten notorious throughout the long term. His assortment is so gigantic, truth be told, that he required a whole air terminal overhang in California to hold his assortment. Jay has near 100 motorcycles that are generally remarkable and display their own kind of fervor. Jay has never been one to conceal his assortment. He will happily open his carport and hotshot his energy. He's been met many occasions throughout the long term, bragging about his two-wheeled toys, all of them his unparalleled delight. His energy for bicycles has been a long time really taking shape. He adores the blend of science and innovation and the force that the two structure when they meet up. A couple of his bicycles in his tremendous assortment incorporates a 1931 Henderson 4, a 1967 Chomp Mammoth, a 903 Drive Mixture P1, a 1976 Hercules Wankel and an assortment of Vincents and Brau Bosses, which Jay holds an uncommon connection to. One bicycle that is in a class all its own is the Y2K fly-fueled bicycle, so exceptional that it is one that lone a genuine bike aficionado would claim. Anything Jay desires, with regards to motorcycles, Jay will get and he does. His assortment will doubtlessly keep on developing as the years progressed. Ewan McGregor. Ewan McGregor of Dark Falcon Down and Star Wars, has been riding bicycles since he was a small child. However much he cherished bicycles, earth bicycles weren't actually his thing. He said he just never truly went soil bicycle riding on ends of the week. It wasn't his thing. The primary bicycle he at any point possessed was an old Proverb Guzzi that he wanted to ride in and out of town on. He thought it was a La Monitors, however ended up being a T3 spruced up to seem as though a La Monitors. He adored it at any rate. He used to do follow, not for hustling, but rather to run the tracks with his mates, yet he before long surrendered speed bicycles and fostered his energy for old bicycles. Vintage bicycles. A portion of the bicycles you'll discover in Ewan's assortment incorporate some mid-70s bicycles. He possesses a Norge, a 1974 Eldorado police bicycle with an alarm and a 1956 Sunbeam S7 Choice war with fat tires and an upstanding man of his words visiting seat. He additionally possesses a Rex Hackney worked in 1929 with a metal tank and openings board on top of it. His assortment is unquestionably an extraordinary one and his actual energy. Ewan has expressed and he surmises he is simply ta two-wheeled sort of fellow.